Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl, back again for another movie review. We'll do another Christmas movie here, a Hallmark one, called Christmas on the Vine. Now, if you watched my previous video of another Hallmark movie called An Ice Wine Christmas, there's another wine type of, well, at least a wine as like not like a staple, but like a major component in this film. Uh, yeah, it's stars as pretty much stars a not pretty much what I'm talking about. It stars Julian Gull or Guile as Brooke, John Core as Tyler, Meredith Baxter, I knew I recognized her, as Carla Kilgore, uh, you know Chilton Crane as Evelyn, Kate Isaac as Kelly. Uh, it's a pretty much you got about like Julian Gill Brooke is a young marketing executive assigned to help this struggling family-owned winery in a small town who lost its Christmas spirit due to like a large conglomerate. This conglomerate is pretty much like I gotta admit it's probably the most I want to say elaborate, but like a very strategic move than I've seen like in like a not even just like a Hallmark movie, just movies in general when they're dealing with like a big bad businessman or woman taking over this small town. Usually you'll see like in movies like this where everybody's on the fence about it. No, they actually bought off the majority of the town. So much so is that when you hold a festival, they're the ones who have to be controlling all aspects of it, even what alcohol they're drinking. So they're pretty much like the holdout, but they're struggling, obviously. And of course, the big bad businessman is a woman who's actually a woman who's not like a stereotypical mustache twirling bad guy. He's just like a decent human. That's what I'm saying. I gotta admit, like just like in the other film that I mentioned, I appreciate the nuance here. There's layers to this. This woman's not like a stereotypical soulless, big bad businessman. Who just want to just take over and damn everybody. It's just, they're doing business, trying to expand, like, and of course, like, the small town business, definitely deserve their shine and everything like that. But like I said, I appreciate the nuances that not all businesses are like inherently like just run by evil Illuminati corporations. It's like, they want to like increase profit, of course, but it's like they're not trying to like obliterate they're not like buying up everything so they can mow down everybody's houses to make a big ass highway or something like that. It's not like that. And she doesn't come across like she's doing anything evil. She just, she doesn't appreciate, fully the small town people until the end, but, but she's not like a heartless person about it. And that's why I do appreciate about this. But you begin the movie where it's like, Brooke is talking with her boss, and I gotta say, this boss, you can tell, like she's there for a day. She's, she gets to drink some wine, and she doesn't have to. She's got to read his lines. It doesn't have to have any feeling, and just I want to get in and get out kind of attitude situation. It's like, sure, Brooke, you can take over this town. I like this wine. Okay, Brooke. It's like I want to say deadpan, but like so disinterested in what there's no feeling when she was trying to read those lines. Honestly, in my opinion, she doesn't seem like she's there for a day. She gets to drink wine at the same time. At least think it's wine. At least not real wine. But this woman, like Brooke, man, she is like almost every word out of her mouth is like something about her and the way she grew up in, and I want to make this town just the way I grew up in. The lights got it's just like I remember my grandfather set up lights in our garage. It's like, oh, I remember the cookies my mother used to bake. Like, it just screams Christmas. And it's like, okay, you're horny for Christmas, we get it, just dial it back there, elf. It's just like, it's like I get it. I like Christmas too, but it's like, you don't need, like, I'm not in love with it. It's just the way like certain Hallmark movies, they got that one character who's like, love Christmas. The whole Christmas traditions that's gotta be done, and it's like, we're gonna string up popcorns around the tree, and it's gonna be magical, just like how I remember it. And it's like, jeez. I was like, God, it was like every 2 seconds about something that she remembers from her childhood. I remember a lot from my childhood. Half of them is not even like a good memories, but all the good times that I have, I'm not like horny to recreate that. Honestly, the things that I like, I might do it every once in a while. Whenever I have kids, I might do certain things or whatever like that. But by and large, it's not gonna be like cutting down your own Christmas tree and bringing it all back so you can decorate ourselves just like people who used to do these kind of things back in the day. It's like, no, I'm not doing all that extra crap. But and she, of course, on her drive down to this little small town, she's playing like these like singing along to every Christmas song you can think of on the radio. I was like, oh my God, this woman's horny for Christmas. When you get to the winery, you get to be introduced to the local hunk, Tyler, played by Core. And this is honestly the first funniest thing I seen in this movie, or at least part of, there's good funny out of this, to be honest with you, is where he's helping this old lady, load up a box of wine that she purchased for a book club that she's hosting, and like as like the old lady was like asking, like, I just have a couple more questions. Of course, ma'am. And she pulls out this cartoony ass long list, and I just want to, I wish it didn't cut over. I kind of want her to actually read all these kind of questions and see if either he answers all of them or he at a certain point kind of freaks out and like, go home already, kind of situation. Like, I kind of want to see how that scene played out. But Brooke meets the mom and they discuss like, okay, we're like, struggling, and like, there's corporations buying up everything, distribution, there's they bought even the most of the distribution, and nobody's trying to like nobody's gonna be helping with that part. If you're trying to reinvigorate the winery. It's a family-owned business. We're all about family here. We're all about family. And then one of the things Brooke suggested, which I thought was like one of like a few dumb things she suggests, is kind of like a duh. It's like, first thing we gotta do is decorate the room. That's like, oh God, you gotta really decorate like everything. Yeah, of course, it's holidays. It's kind of be odd if you don't be the only person. It's always that sad house on a block that's the only one that is like not decorated. That it doesn't mean to be dressed to the nines, but you gotta like show some Christmas cheer a bit. And it's got that one sad dark ass house out of a whole like line full of houses that has some decorations on it. And it's just like it's just pitiful. But the suggestion, what irks me about the suggestion is like, you don't think they either thought about it already or they could have just done it themselves. I don't run a business. Well, don't count this as a business. I'm not getting any kind of monetary gain from this. But the first thing that I wanted to do with my channel is like this for what I'm doing right now, because it dawned on me something I was toying with. Is like when I first started the channel back in 2019, the first thing I wanted to do is do like a holiday theme type of. Well, first I want to do with games. That's why I did like Batman Arkham Knight for the month of October back in 2019. Check out that walkthrough, by the way, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/talkativecarl, on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, all that stuff. But but then it's like, this was around the time when I'm just like starting out. I was trying to learn on the fly and do my own research before I got to. It was a lot of trial and error just to get to this point. But you would think we want to do some kind of holiday theme kind of thing to drum up some interest in for the business and kind of things like that. It's just freaking weird. And another thing, the fact that she, the mom who's like the head of this business, talking about like they're struggling financially, but there's certain scenes that's being filmed in her big ass house. It looks like it's set for set up for a room, like set up for a family of 5 or 6. It's like, how about you take your high maintenance ass to a more reasonable house first and foremost. You already act like you this big CEO person who you only seen like a little small shot in her living room where she was watching TV. But it looks more modest by compared to this whole small town, winery lady. And it's like, oh my God, like, she's probably like the big business lady that's mowing down these towns, not the other old lady. This is like, I think this is a little flip flop here. But anyway, Brooke starts helping, making suggestions, like, trying to drum up some business for this company. Eventually tasting wines. She's eventually hanging out with Tyler for the most part, just to gauge, what to get to know this family a little bit better in order to help boost, like how she can probably help boost like business for them. And of course they get close and everything like that. And it took, she's moving to this town that she grew up in, and it took her a day before or a day and a half before she sees, her sister and her nephew that, who still lived there. And it was completely by accident, by walking with Tyler down the street as they're looking at like the decorations on the street. And it's like, if I'm visiting family, back in like a hometown or something like that, or at least visiting my hometown, the first thing I probably want to do before like I, while I'm settling in, before I get to business, if where I'm there for to do it, the first thing I want to do when I sit down is like, get to a hotel room, like leave my stuff, and then go see a relative that's there just to see how they're doing, and then get to business the next day once I'm settled in. She's like, so gung-ho about working with these people, don't even bother with that. That's a little backwards for me. But she bumps into her sister and everything like that. She's like a local school teacher and everything like that. And it's kind of like, I won't say it's a waste, but it's like, certain scenes with the sister, working with these kids at the school to make this little play. It's like, just to have like, certain lovely scenes with Tyler working with these kids. It's like, oh my God, he's such a hunk. Look at the way he's, the way he's getting along with these kids. Ooh. And speaking of the nephew, Michael, that the kid, no shade on the kid, but it's just I don't know what direction was told, the way, like, at least their mindset of how or what kind of kid they need. But it's like they got a kid that looks like he's suffering from Tiny Tim syndrome. like the dorkiest glasses to make his eyes pop like Alita Battle Angel. It's like, I'm suffering from Tiny Tan syndrome, and I can't wait to see you on Brooke. It's like, ugh. And it's like, I'm glad this kid is not. You say a cute few. You have this kid say a few cute lines and move the heck on. You could have done, done without the whole play thing. It's not like a major component, but it takes up most of the first act, or not most of the first act. It takes like at least a quarter of the first act of like, just to see this dude work well, with the nephew and everything like that, or get along with the nephew and everything like that. And it's like, you could take this out that entire scene. Didn't really care. It wasn't like a major component, because it'd be different if this movie, was about the mom and the kid, and Tyler and her getting together, and him getting along with the kid, and like helping the kid with his play. Then it's a whole different story. Then the play has to be involved just to see how that the collab worked out. But it ain't about the sister or the nephew, so you can easily either cut them all out entirely or take out the play part and just like just shoot a few scenes with these two. The whole play thing was, that component was like lame, boring, did not need it. Of course, like Tyler, while they was listen to like Brooke with like her ideas, he's like frustrated because it's like everybody's like getting bought up by this businesswoman, and he doesn't like the whole changes because that she's offering, because it's like, all right, you need help with distribution, that's one thing, but then it's like you're taking you're changing the recipe, you doing all this other extra stuff that we didn't ask you to do, like kind of situation. But it's like, dude, what you think was gonna happen when you asking some ad executive, whatever ad executive, to come over to help drum up business? Part of that is going to be more than likely making a few changes. I mean, obviously, I get it. You had this for like at least 3 generations of Lockwoods. That's her last name, I think. And there's a particular way that's been done that worked just fine, and it was always that one way. But you gotta be flexible, but there's a middle ground between being flexible and taking a hard stance on what's not going to be changed. And it's like, she's not completely changing, like, okay, we gotta toss out all your wine crap and buy up this wine from Merlot's, and like that should help. Like it's not, she's not like she's doing all that, but that's what he's acting like, in my opinion. But of course, the sparks fly between them. Like, she doesn't change too much, just remixing in a way what's already there. Like the fact that she finds the mom reads the journal of, I'm pretty sure the grandfather, about the wine recipes and everything like that. And this part I think is pretty dope, because if you ever, because one of my animes that I got into since the pandemic was this anime called Food Wars, and it's pretty much like Kitchen Nightmares but anime kind of style. It's really dope. And one of the cool things, out of many cool things from that show, is that, which I will eventually do like a TV show review for the channel, but the coolest thing I like about it is the fact that the characters take realistic food and like learn how to make it, of course, but sometimes it's a cool thing because it's like it's like Hogwarts in a way, but for food. It's like you taking certain things and doing certain twists to them to make it even better, or like like very innovative, creative dishes. And what she did with those, applying the family wine recipe and like you see her like a table full of like beakers and everything like that, and she's like trying different combinations. It reminds me of Soma from Food Wars, the way he like, I remember like at least like in the third season, I believe the third season, where he's like, he's the second or third season where he assisting, I'm pretty sure it's the second season, assisting this other house, this dorm, whose house leader specializes in all these different kind of spices, and he's learning about how to handle spice, in a nuanced way. And it's like you got these different bowls of all these different spices and trying out different greases, mixing them up. It's just like a complete kind of like experimentation, just to get like a particular one right that he can utilize in a particular dish that brings out the flavor and everything like that. That kind of reminds me of from that show, like what she did with the wine, and apparently it's like the bomb because the mom tasted it and she just loved it, but the son obviously wasn't having it. It's like, you changed it too much, God. And it's like that is not really like, because unlike most Hallmark Lifetime movies that has the obligatory fight between like the lovers, because like it's very cliche. It's like not something like a typical person would get mad about or wouldn't elaborate or take a minute to discuss it before blowing up and storming off kind of situation. This one seems a little bit more a credible thing for him to be mad about, because something that he's very proud of from his father and his grandfather, and pretty sure his great grandfather, that's been doing this vineyard and winery for a very, very long time, and is a particular recipe that his family had, and she, in his eyes, mucked it up. And so he's just like he didn't even bother even try it, but then changing the label and everything, like, or not changing the label, just applying the family crest and kind of reinventing it, or at least adding a spin to it. So it's like the Lockwood family crest 2.0 kind of situation. And it wasn't until he tried it when he realized it, it's the same recipe but just made so much better. And it's like she's adding a few things to bring out what was already there a lot more. And of course he goes to apologize while they're at this little big festival that they was been like trying to jump up attention for. So they you got like these the Santa guys come dressed as Santa to take pictures with kids and everything like that. And of course the big bad business lady, of course she, it's not like she just realized, or appreciation for like local businesses. She mentions she always had like business, like appreciation for them. She just wanted like, it might be like a bad choice of words, but just absorbing them and kind of making them like, applying them and making them better. It's not like she's like completely erasing them, but it's Hallmark. They got a thing for like small time businesses. They're always gonna be the good guys, never the bad guys. The bad guys are the big bad business people, and whatever they do, they're always wrong, kind of situation. But of course, then like this big time distributor who happens to know one of Brooke's childhood friends, and he loves like everything that's been done, and like the wine is delicious, the Christmas wine is delicious and everything like that. And tell him like, oh yeah, give me a call after Christmas and we'll definitely work out something for your winery kind of situation. So everything works out for the family. Then like Brooke and Tyler come together and they realize their love for each other, and she stays, and and then share this big old final kiss. Uh, like I said, like I appreciate at least the nuances that like, hey, like the big bad business lady isn't all bad. Uh, And I'm curious, like movies like this, do they really help small time businesses? At least showcase them or anything like that, like help them with businesses, with their business and everything like that. Have they helped them? I won't say this movie solely helped them, but it's like, have they really spotlight anything like that? Because I would think that if you want to help these small time, this is weird because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, Hallmark has turned into like the big bad business people themselves over the years. But have they really, if they really loved like the small town mom and pops kind of situation restaurants, you would think they will, like, I don't know, add their actual names to these movies. At least maybe not the center star, but like if you walk it down this small town, have like some of the shops they pass by be the names of actual businesses to drum up their business in realistic life. I would think that would be kind of be smart, wouldn't that? I could be wrong, right? I mean, like, please let me know in the comments below. Am I wrong or right about that? Because I would think that would be like a good idea. Maybe because they don't want to, Hallmark doesn't want to pay out any type of shares from these movies to those local businesses. But you would think, being like so gung ho about small businesses, they will do that. But that's just me. Oh, there's a thing with a barista early in the film where she's going to a small coffee shop after Jess arriving, and the barista behind the desk, I don't know who this, I'm not sure if this actor is his first time acting or the director, will kind of misused him or something. But it's the way he was like, looked like he was forced smiling. Like he's like, yes, hey, oh, here you go. I was like, geez, like this is your first day smiling? Like, like, or at least, drop the smile. Like, smile naturally, be natural. Like, look, he's nervous. I mean, maybe he was nervous that day. I don't know. I don't want to judge him too harshly. Maybe it was his first day, or it's just like, because I don't know. It was like a very like half baked smile, like he was like trying to hold in a fart or something. And this is a moment when, like, Brooke asked Tyler about, like, oh, how's your social media presence? And he's like, what social media? It's like, dude, this movie was like maybe like a 2019, 2020. And you've seen people in this small town with smartphones. And how do you not understand about social media presence? I just list up my social media presence, like Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, all named Talkative Carl. Links are in the description, kind of situation. You have some social media presence. That's like business 101. Kind of like have a social media presence, do little themes, to like spotlight certain things for your business or whatever you're doing. It's like you should be, and she shouldn't be suggesting something that they should already know or at least tried or at least have. It is weird. I gotta admit, like, the one thing that she did suggested that was pretty doggone smart and dope is like she took some old bottles that he was going to trash in the first place and turned them into this makeshift wine bottle tree thing, and it looked really nice because they all like red and well, mostly red and green bottles, but I'm pretty sure it was like other different colors too. But they turned into this kind of like a makeshift wine bottle tree in the winery store, and I thought that was really dope. That was like a very creative idea, just to make it look, just do something creative and Christmassy at the same time. I thought that was very smart. That was like a very smart suggestion. Oh, and then like to learn how to taste the wine. It's like, as I mentioned in my previous video of in the ice wine Christmas video, just posted on the YouTube channel. Check that out in my review for that. But it's the way, like, where you see people uh, twirl the wine in the wine glass, sniff it a couple of times, and then take a sip. And in the past year or so, I've been when I have my drink of wine, I usually like to do that. Not anything like a wine connoisseur. It just seems fun. Just take a second just to do something. I don't know. It just seems cool and sophisticated. But it's supposed to heighten all the senses. That way you can appreciate the alcohol a little bit better rather than just guzzling it down. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty much the movie. But is it worth a watch? If I gotta put it on a rank, give it like a solid C. If I'm being generous, maybe C plus. But it's very middle of the road. I at least like the fact that it's not heavy with like the Hallmark cliches that you see typically from them. But it's not something I probably will be geared towards rewatching every year. There's a few Hallmark movies that I do appreciate that I do feel inclined to come back to every year as like another repertoire in my long list of favorite Christmas films, or at least Christmas films that I appreciate to come back to. That's like kind of fun, you know. But let me know if you check it out yourself, because it's currently running on Hallmark Christmas or Lifetime, one of the two. If you manage to check it out, let me know what you think. But yeah, I would not say it's a pass. I would not say that. I'll definitely say it deserves at least to watch once and see if it's your speed. Give it at least one watch. But yeah, I will see you guys next time for the next movie review. I'll be getting right into what's the next? Because I already did Amazing Spider-Man 2. The next one should be Spider-Verse, I believe. Is it Spider-Verse? No. It's Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm sorry. I did Homecoming earlier this week. So the next Spider-Man movie I'll be reviewing is Spider-Man Far From Home. Then next week, next week is is Saturday technically right now. So next week at some point I'll watch Spider-Man Far From Home, do a review for that, along with Batman and Robin. Then I'll do another, probably in some point in between that, I'll do another Christmas movie review. Like I said, I'm going to pop in at least a few of these. I'm not going to be hella, at least not this year. It's not going to be like a hell of Hallmark Christmas movies. But I'll throw some in here and there that I think is very appealing, or at least caught my interest, along with like the major ones that we all are familiar with. But yeah, look forward to all that in the coming weeks. Also, check out, I just started Pokemon Brilliant Diamond walkthrough. I will be in maybe like 15-20 minutes. I'll be popping that in and playing that for like at least an hour and a half. Just got to the first gym, not to the first gym, but the first city with the gym. I haven't started yet, but apparently it's a rock type gym. It's gonna be a little bit tough because I chose Chimchar and I have no fighting, no water or grass types for me to utilize to, take that gym down easy. So it's gonna be an uphill battle. So let's see how it turns out. So hopefully you'll join me if you're watching this live. But if not, if you be so inclined to check out it later once I eventually post it on YouTube. But you can also follow me on my Twitch, twitch.tv/talkativecarl. If you ever want to see me go live, you can check me out whenever I go live for any video game walkthroughs. So yeah, take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.